right, and here is the Studio Series 32 Voyager Optimus Prime, slightly different from the previous Optimus Prime Voyager we've gotten in the Studio Series. And so yeah, he does combine with Jetfire. We'll show that off, but here he is in truck mode, and he's got a lot more foldy aroundy bits. The way this all comes together, and I sheared a tab off in this headpiece, but it's not the end of the world, thankfully, but I'll tell you how not to do that. And one, follow the instructions. All the instructions are super tiny and not great, but I did actually push an arrow the wrong way. And it's really easy to do. It's not, like I said, it's not the end of the world. It does not structurally affect anything, but whatever. So anyway, come back here. We're going to snap his legs apart. Ooh. And then bring his feet, rotate this whole piece down and around and bring his feet down. He actually steals some elements, I think, from the larger Masterpiece Prime, which is kind of cool. Just rotate those around. Here's his legs. Then these panels come up. Also, be careful with these panels. Like they rotate, but they're only on friction hinges. You'll probably see them pop off at some point. These gray pieces right here, you can see where that little cutaway is. These are just on friction hinges. So there's some points where you have to rotate these, and they are very tight at certain points. And if you don't hold it right here, it likes to just pop right off that friction hinge. So just be aware. Let's bring those out. Open up these doors. Open up these little panels here. Like I said, there's all sorts of swishy, wishy. Bring his tires down and fold them down around like that. And same here. And it's kind of cool because this tire actually comes up onto the hip, as does this one, like that. So you collapse this up onto the hip like that, and then this rear tire comes up onto the hip like that on his legs. You can bring his knee pads forward if you want. And then untab this. Get the whole front assembly coming apart here. Come on, there we go. So flip those out, untab this. You can kind of see where he's got the same fold the fists in, and then slide this up and around over the fists at a weird angle. Kind of turns his forearms into scoops. But yeah, so rotate those out to the side. Go ahead and fold these gray pieces all the way around and inside here. And then back here is his chest pieces. They actually fold around back here, and you fold them out around and past the door and past this piece, which are going to fold in to replace that piece once we get his head wrapped around. Now his head, like I said, there is a, oh yeah, lift this up too. There's a tab that's sheared off. You can see here on the side of it, and basically that's just to stop his head going this way, and then I think when you rotate it this way, it stops it at the right point this way to give you the gap to plug this in. But once you have plug everything in, it's solid, and when you rotate this up around anyway, these chest panels, when you rotate them around, are going to tab right into that. So it's kind of a secure measure thing, but if you, like, when the instructions say push his head in, you have to push his head back and rotate it around like that to form truck mode. Don't try to bring it forward or you'll shear that tab off. Like I said, it doesn't affect anything. It's not structurally causing any issues with the toy. But, you know, just if you don't want to break anything. Because once this is all locked in, it's all locked in. There we go. So you just fold those around to form his chest. These now fold back into here to fill in. Oh, actually, no, wait, before you do that, bring his, oh no, that's right. Bring those back in like that. That's gonna come down over his back here like this. And then his arms, bring them out to the side. You bring his hips down, snap them into place, rotate his legs around the hip, and now his legs are all done. And now it's just a matter of getting all these things back where they need to be. You gotta fold this up into here, fold it so this folds back around to the back. Yeah, there we go. And you'll know it's all snapped in together. They should snap in up here. And then it should snap in on this as well. Because I don't have this down. Now this needs to go in first because the back panel tab. Oh, that's right. So one, make sure you get this up. This has a reason I'm not getting the tab right on. This tab, there's a blue tab here that needs to fit through. You got to get this all lined up right. There we go. It was hitting this tab and I didn't have this tab lined up. There's a blue tab here that goes into this gray slot. That's what I was missing. I knew this hooked in. Forgot about this tab. So there we go. Tab that in. Fold these in, and then you can see this will tab in to the grill pieces. These will fold in around, and then here's where you need to fold this. Again, rotate this down and around like that. So his tanks sit, and again, support it here if you don't want this popping apart. So fold that down to form his tanks on his back. Bring the arms down, bring the shoulder armor down. And then it's just a matter of flip this out and around, up, flip his fist up, and then this should rotate. Okay, there we go. Rotate that around like that. There's a way to do this, and the way I did it is doing it the most awkward way possible because you're trying to look at two different places at once. So yeah, just bring this up. Rotate this up like that. Rotate the fist down. Rotate it around the fist. And there is Prime in robot mode. He's a little gappy, but not the end of the world. It's weird how he, despite having a very different transformation, some of the same non-essential robot mode parts end up in the same place, like the wheel wells back here under the shoulders and the grill on the back. Like that, I mean, like then you have these pieces right here that don't sit really anywhere, but they're sitting in the same place. But yeah, so like it's just weird how they did it. But oh well. So there's a quick comparison between the previous Studio Series mold and the newer one, which you can see is a much brighter red and blue, and not metallic. It's just kind of a plain old red, which personally I think I like a little better. I like it pops more. But and I like the way the chest works way better than I do on this one. But I wouldn't mind seeing. I like the brighter blue. I wouldn't mind seeing. Actually, I wouldn't mind seeing this in this metallic red. And here's the deal, because I think we're gonna. We'll go ahead and put him off to the side here. Also, he does come with his gun, which in vehicle mode could store in a couple different places. It tabbed onto the side and could tab on to the front here, like that. But anyway, so here's the ab piece. And I'm pretty certain now, because I know that this ab piece is for the upcoming leader with the trailer that turns into the Ring of Weapons and the wing pack, can use Jetfire combined. I'm pretty sure the leader class figure is just this Voyager with a trailer. Because the reason I know that is because, one, this is the same piece as this, but also this figure already has the molding to just pop this out and put this one in. So when I said, I was just thinking, I wouldn't mind seeing this figure with this lighter blue, but with this metallic red. I'm pretty sure that's what the new upcoming leader is going to be. Now, the blue may be a slightly different shade of blue. I hope they don't go as dark as the previous Studio Series on the blue. Maybe a little darker than this with this metallic red will look good. But I'm pretty sure the upcoming leader figure is just going to be this dude with the trailer. But you can swap out the chest piece from the abs to the standard connector or standard front end from the first couple of movies in order to use Jetfire with it. And speaking of Jetfire, let's go ahead and give him his gun so he has a weapon here. That's the other thing too. You kind of want to put the gun in from the side because his wrists are on little swivel caps and they really like to pop off. If you don't either go straight in on the wrist, and with all the stuff going in, pushing this gun in is a little difficult straight on. It does like to pop the wrist off, I found. He does have very weak shoulders, so holding the big gun in combined mode is a little rough too. But he's got side to side, front to back, side to side at the shoulders, bicep swivel, wrist swivel, hinged elbows. He does have the waist swivel. We saw that during transformation, although the wheels do tend to get in the way if you don't fold them down. He's got a thigh swivel, bending knees, then front to back and side to side on the ankles as well. So yeah, now we get to Jet Power Prime. And first off, here he is with Jetfire, the confused old man trying to tell Prime all the secrets of the universe while not being very coherent. So there's Prime and Jetfire. Actually, let's get them right on the same plane, just to say and give you an idea of how much bigger they are. He is than each other. Not significantly larger. He's definitely the new Jetfire is definitely smaller than the previous leader class, but they look good together. Like I like that scale, both in vehicle and robot mode. And then you can kill Jetfire and turn him into armor for Optimus, of course. So we'll go ahead and take this off. We'll go ahead and remove this gun from Prime. He died. Good. Thank you for playing your role there, Jetfire. And so we'll take this, and then we'll just start dismantling him. Prime will stand over here. So first off, I find it helpful for the legs. Grab them right here like this. Put your thumb on the front of the turbine, and then just pull is the best way. There's like a clip. It's like a slidey clip here. And the easiest way to get it without twisting it or breaking it is just to pull straight out with your thumb and pop off the leg. Same over here. We got it. You go ahead and detach these since those are popping apart anyway. So we've got his leg pieces here. And the leg piece, you just take it like this, open it up like that, bring this around. This will go out to only one side, this whole assembly. So fold that out to the side and then fold it so this peg is facing up. And that's going to go on to this leg. So we'll take, on Prime's feet, rotate his legs and feet up as if you were transforming him back to vehicle mode, which now exposes a tab here on the inside of the leg. So if we take this tab, okay, yeah, so it's going into this leg. So this peg is going to go into this hole on the side of the wheel well, and then this tab goes right in here. So get that tabbed in, like that. This is going to clip in. There's a little tab in here that goes into the slot on his leg. So clip that on, and then rotate this around and click it up until it pegs in to his leg like that. And there's one Jetfire Prime leg, or Jet Power Prime leg. And it's the same thing on this other side. Just flip this around, bring it so the tab faces up. And we're going to take it, we're going to tab it right in there, clip it, and peg it together. So it attaches very securely to his legs. And now Prime's got pants. I mean, kind of had pants before he's a robot. I guess it doesn't really matter, but either way. And when you get to this point, you'll understand, like, one of the first things I noticed about Prime was his knees are super tight. And there's a reason for that. So, now that Prime's got his pants, we'll come over here to Jetfire. What the heck is that noise? You hear that crackly noise? Oh well, whatever. So lift this up. We're going to bring his whole torso, detach it, like we did earlier. Bring this up. Come on. It helps if we split his crotch here first, which will allow this to fold back a little bit more. And then we got the room to pull this forward. So pull him out of his spine. Untab his ab thing. Extend his spine all the way. And then when you see this little tab right here, that's kind of a tab to detach it because this is the sliding connector. So you want to pull like that. Again, there's a sliding connector tab here to separate his spine. Come up here, flip out the nose cone, and pull off these and set his upper torso off to the side for the time being. These come off, they just separate right in half. There's a little tab right here, which goes onto, just tabs into his shoulder pads, like that. Now he's got some fancy pauldrons. Oh, nope. There we go. So, and again, those can move around however you want to pose them. We'll show that off. We'll go ahead right now, just for the fun of it. We'll take his cane, we'll fold it all up, just like we did before. And then this little square tab can go on either arm. We're going to put it on this one. You can tab that onto his forearm. I don't know if it stays on. Come on, you weren't giving me this much trouble earlier. Huh. You should just tab right on there and stay on. And it stayed on just fine earlier. I don't know why it's being a butt now. But it's supposed to just tab right on there. Can you stay on this side? Oh, there we go. It's staying on that side. I don't know why it popped off of... I want it to be on this side, but whatever. We'll figure that out later. So you can give him a little small gun. Take this backpack. And before we do this, go ahead and we'll fold this spine piece in like that. Before we do this all the way, on his back, and this is not super clear, you need to do a couple things to his back. You need to rotate this down, lift this up, and rotate these around, and again, bring them down like this. Basically so they sit right against those tabs there. And then in here, inside these fenders, there's a little gray piece right here. And you need to rotate this tab out. This tab is going to help support the whole backpack. So make sure this little gray tab here comes all the way and folds around like that. The instructions do not show you this tab. So just be aware of that. And make sure this plugs back in here. This comes down here like this. So like that. So prepare his back. This piece, like I said, we'll spread this out like this. Bring this back here. Basically just point his thighs straight up to form the backpack. Fold this up. And wait, no, not that way. Fold them straight up this way. There we go. Because these are the slots those tabs we just revealed are going to go into. Lift this up, fold this piece up. Now the instructions show this piece folded up flat like this, and or not like that, but yeah, like this. And you can do that, and this will be sticking up behind his head. If you want to, you can bring this out a little bit, give him like some more little secondary wings here, and fold this down to support it as a backpack if you wish. I'm going to do it the official way, and I'll show you some of the configurations after. So you take it like this, and then again, you want to kind of hook these tabs right here, kind of slide over these cutouts in the blue piece. Just right on the very edge, there's some small little angled cutouts, and then tab onto these two tabs. So you just kind of lower it down from the top, slide it on, and then tab it onto those two tabs. And once that's done, there we go. Tabbed onto both tabs. And that holds it fairly securely, but then these pieces wrap around and like this. And you tab them together long ways, like this. These tab together, kind of. I mean, they mostly just kind of sit together. And then this whole assembly tabs in here into the middle of this ab piece. There's a tab that fits right here in this slot. So you just tab that on right here like this. There is a hinge here at the strap so you can bend that back so it's not as awkward. It's not pulling on it, so it bends straight back and goes back there to the backpack. He's got the gun, and again, like here, so here's how this sits normally with this big tower behind Prime's head, which isn't horrible, but if you want to, you can bring this panel out a little bit more, widen it out like that. The tip will kind of rest down here on the thing, and then you can fold this back as kind of an upper support for the secondary wings, and that gets a little bit of the kibble out. It gives him a little bit more of a dynamic silhouette with the angles there behind his head. Oh, I guess you can't see him from the angle. There you go. Give him some angles there, as well as gets that kind of post tower out of the way on his robot mode. So I'm going to pop that gun off of here. I'm going to see if we can't get it to stay on this side. No, come on. Come on, be my friend. You worked earlier. Whatever. I don't know why suddenly this does not want to tab onto this side of the... It stayed on just fine. I had pictures posted with it earlier. Anyway, we'll set this off to the side for the time being, because one of the things that again, it's weird that the instructions don't show this, but if you take these gray pieces off the underside of the wings, and like I said, this is clearly intentional. There's no way this is just somebody found a way, because the angles match and everything. So you pull these gray pieces off back from under here, and don't untag. Try not to untab everything in pursuit of grandeur. Don't fly too close to the sun. But anyway, do that. So you take these and tab them together like this. You can see there's some little angled bits there and this. So you take his entire upper body here. Basically, you kind of want to transform it most of the way back to jet mode. Flip this forward. Fold his head up underneath here and peg it in. There's a little tab there. Fold that flat. Fold the torso back. Oh, wait. Untab his arms. There we go. Fold the torso back. Fold this forward so it sits up there like that. You can see this will be the control stick. These panels, now these do seem to line up. There's a tab hole here. This is where this pegs in for jet mode. So I don't know that this is supposed to tab in because the way this works, these sit at a slight angle and it stresses this tab. So I wouldn't try to tab these all the way in. But if you fold his arms up the right way, actually rotate his fist around and tag it in. There's a peg, that peg hole in his hand goes over this little peg on his forearm. So fold that down and then rotate it around like this. Make sure this goes in all the way. And there's a peg here that if you fold this down right, you gotta, there we go. Nope, wrong way. Nope, I had it right the first time. Bring it down like that so you can fold this down. This will kind of peg in underneath here. It doesn't, again, the peg's a little loose in that slot, but it does fit over that peg right here like this. And same on this side. Leave these open wide a little bit. You can bring them in later if you want, but for right now. Pull his arm up, rotate it around like this. Tab it in. And then you take this piece, and you see these angles right here match the angles in the front of this. And now he has the giant cannon, which, again, this peg right here, this is why I didn't have the smaller gun on this side, because you can put it under his arm. His hand can grab it. Now, it's very heavy. His joints, his shoulder joint certainly is not up for holding it. You kind of have to brace it against his knee, and you can get it at some various angles, but he's not going to hold this straight out like some sort of bamf. You just kind of got to rest it there. But he does have a giant Monjongo Jetfire head face gun thing, if you want to have it. So yeah, that's why I like to have this gun pegged in over here, although it is really fighting me now for some reason, and I really have no idea why. It may just be like that peg is just a little too big for it. I don't know, maybe sanding it out in the back end of that tab, but whatever. And again, you can, just like before, store this axe on the wing back here. You can have him hold it. If you want to, you can have him give him the axe in his hand and really get medieval on somebody. But yeah. So there is the Voyager Optimus Prime with the Jetfire upgrade. I really dig it, and like I said, it's small. Like here is this previous Studio Series Voyager. So while he does get bigger and bulkier, he's still not. I'm trying to think of here's let me get Siege Ultra Magnus. So if you've seen Siege Ultra Magnus, here he is with him. Like with that giant gun, he's definitely got some bulk, but he's not huge. He doesn't take up like a whole shelf like the old Jet Power Optimus Prime did, combined with the Leader Optimus Prime combined with Leader Jetfire did. He's fun. He's posable. He's got some nice detail. Here in the combined mode, the single Optimus is nice. Like Optimus and Jetfire are both fairly solid singly, and the fact that they can combine to do this, I really have no idea why they did not tell you about this gun in the instructions. It's clearly the intent. Like these pieces have no other purpose other than to be the front end of this gun. But oh well. So yeah, there is Voyager Optimus as well as the Jetfire, and they're pretty cool. He includes a picture of the freeway.